New orders just in, Jensen. The boss wants Pritchard to examine the Typhoon ASAP.
Copy that. Thanks for the lift.
No problem. Hey, and Jensen, I just wanted to say, new look suits you. Like, you haven't missed a beat at all.
Thanks.
So, how's it feel? Being augmented?
Excuse me?
Don't take it the wrong way. I mean, I've got a few neuro enhancements myself. Discreet ones to help me fly better. But I chose to get them implanted. You didn't. Now that you had a chance to try them out, what do you think?
I'm not gonna lie and say they didn't come in handy back there. But like you said, I didn't choose to get augmented.
So it'll take some getting used to. I get it. But don't be surprised if the boss keeps pushing you to get more.
Why? What do you mean?
You know how he is. He thinks augmentations are the be-all, end-all of everything. And he can't understand why someone wouldn't want to become more than human.
Megan used to say the same thing.
I'm not surprised. The research she was doing was pretty damn inspired. Might have convinced a lot more people to give what we make here a try.
If that bastard hadn't killed her.
Listen, Jensen. I know you want to find the men who attacked us, and so do I. If I can help in any way, all you gotta do is ask.
Actually, there is something. I want to know about the first attack.
Fine. Ask away.
I've been thinking about why they attacked. What they were really after.
Isn't it obvious? They didn't want us going to Washington.
No, that was just timing. Hearings can be rescheduled. Somebody else can present Megan's findings.
I don't think so, Jensen. They took out her whole team. Declan Faraday, Vasily Savchenko, Nia Colvin, even Eric Koss. The labs their bodies were found in.
We're burned to a crisp. I know.
The only reason you weren't caught in the fire was because that retaining wall came down. Saved your life, believe it or not.
So the whole attack was just to destroy Megan's research.
Sure looks that way. Mr. Seraph is hoping to reconstruct it, but it may take months. If he can keep us solvent that long.
Did anyone else see them? The men who attacked?
Not well enough to get a description. Pritchard got some fuzzy images off one of the Intellicams, but his tapes were all confiscated by Homeland Security.
Homeland? I heard Homicide passed it over to Special Investigations. Detroit Special Investigations.
They did, for the first month. After that, all I really know is the case is still pending, and Mr. Seraph is not pleased.
You were there that night. What do you remember about it?
That it was chaos. First, everybody figured there'd been some kind of accident, but Pritchard couldn't get a good visual and communications were haywire. Then we heard the explosions. By the time anyone knew what had hit us...
They were gone.
Whoever they were good, Jensen. Special training good.
I'm gonna find them, Malik. One way or another.
I believe you. And just so you know, when you do, I've got your back.
I appreciate that, Malik, but right now...
You've got to get the Typhoon into the tech lab, right. See you later, then. Oh, and Jensen, the boss wants a face-to-face debrief in his office once it's secure.
Roger that. Good night, Malik.
Well, if it isn't Mahatma Gandhi himself, come to honor us all with his life-preserving presence. If this is about the Typhoon, I'll get to it in a minute.
Now, Pritchard. I didn't risk my neck to have you lose it in a pile of CPUs and scuzzy adapters.
Well, look at you, using the big words. Don't think just because you hacked through the plant security system so fast that you're an expert on everything computer. There's a reason I can't examine the Typhoon yet.
Do tell.
For your information, I am running a diagnostic sweep on our network and router security to find out how Sanders' hacker got a hold of our codes.
I'd have thought the first question to ask is, whose codes were they? Unless you already know.
Stick to kicking down doors and shooting people, Jensen, and stop trying to do my job. I guarantee you we'll get along better that way.
I'm telling you, Hugh, he might not have put the gun in Sanders' hand, but it was Taggart's speech to the UN that started all this.
William Taggart is nothing if not a shrewd political operator. You know that, David.
So for the sake of appearances, I have to look him in the eye and let him bullshit me?
With a smile. Always with a smile. We'll talk later.
Yeah, you wanted to see me?
Yeah, how you feeling?
I've had better days.
Well, when we're done here, check him at Dr. Markovic at the L.I.M clinic downtown. Get her to get a checkup.
If you insist. Listen, about Sanders?
You did good today, Adam. And thanks to you, Sanders is behind bars. And my lawyers are gonna make sure he pays for what he did. So don't worry about what anyone else says.
I won't. But that's not why I brought him up. Sanders was tricked into attacking us by the hacker I caught going after the Typhoon.
He's the man we really needed to interrogate today.
Exactly. Only he killed himself to prevent any chance of my doing that. That takes real dedication.
Yeah, or training. You're sure he was augmented?
I pulled his cables out myself.
Yeah, well, the police are saying he's not, and they're refusing to let me see the body, no matter how much money I threaten to pull from their retirement fund.
Maybe someone else is offering more. So what do you want me to do, boss?
We have to get a look at the corpse. You still got friends on the force. You think one of them will let you into the morgue?
Depends who I run into.
Get over to the station and find a way inside. Because if that hacker was augmented, his neural hub might tell us who he was. Contact me when you've gotten a hold of it.
You got it. Mrs. Reed?
Adam, I'm sorry you startled me. And please, call me Cassandra. You and Megan were together long enough. I was waiting for you.
Out here? Why not come meet me inside?
I don't know. I guess I'm just not ready. This is where you work, but to me, this is also the place where I lost my daughter.
I guess I never thought of it that way.
I'm sorry. It's not proper of me to come here and stir up bad memories, especially after what you've been through.
Yeah. A lot of things changed 6 months ago.
I can't get over how much they've changed you. At first, I couldn't even believe you were still alive. How do you handle all of this?
I never asked for this. They say they saved me, but I'm not sure saved is the right word.
I understand your anger. I wouldn't take too kindly to people making that kind of decision for me, either. But that being said, I, for one, am glad that you're still among us.
Can I ask why you wanted to see me?
Yes, of course. I'm sorry. I'm here about Megan. About what happened to her. Or rather, about the investigation into what happened.
What about it?
Well, simply put, I feel something is not quite right with the way the case was handled.
You think there was some foul play involved?
I do. Call it mother's intuition. But when speaking to some of the investigators, there were a lot of inconsistencies. And then I met this detective, a man called Chase. He agreed things weren't handled by the book, although he has no proof.
And now you want to find out more.
I'll never hear my daughter laugh again, Adam. I'll never get a call from her to ask how I've been, or have the chance to ask her about her day. She was stolen from me. However unjustified this all is, I still want to know why it happened. You're not the same, Adam. And we've yet to see if it's for better or worse. But I know you loved Megan. Please, will you help me find out what really happened to her?
I never got a chance to investigate the attack myself. I'll look into it.
Thank you. This means the world to me, Adam. Really.
The first thing I'll need to do is meet with this detective, Chase.
Good. He works part-time as a security guard in an apartment building on Brooklyn Court. I'll be waiting for you in your apartment lobby once you're done.
Why does a detective need to work part-time as a security guard?
Oh, he retired soon after the case. I don't really know the details. Maybe he'll tell you more.
I'm on it.
I ain't got nothing for you. Check with the man. And keep your hands where I can see them.
You got anything you want to buy or sell? I'm the guy you want to deal with. Everything's on the computer, right at your fingertips. Always a pleasure.
I, for one, approve of these protests. These L.I.M. people are drug pushers. Someone is getting rich while the rest of us are suffering.
Ah, Mr. Jensen. David Seraph told me you'd be dropping by. I've just been reviewing the test results we received on you last week.
Should I start rolling up my sleeves?
Surprisingly, no. I see no trace of glial tissue buildup in any of your charts.
It's been 6 months, Doc. Shouldn't I be on neuropozyne shots by now?
One would think, but these test results show no signs of implant rejection. If anything, the bond between tissue and electrodes seems to be getting stronger.
So I'm free to go?
Well, Mr. Seraph did ask me to discuss another topic with you. You are aware that several precautionary measures had to be put into place during your first surgery?
Not all of my implants were switched on, I know.
The damage caused by the hematoma had to be taken into account. Your brain needed time to recover, to get used to the mechanical neural processors and turn them on naturally over time.
Cut to the chase, Doc. What does Seraph want?
He feels that you might be ready to speed up the activation process using special software known as Praxis kits.
You mean I don't have to wait for my augmentations to kick in naturally anymore?
You can, if you prefer. But Mr. Seraph did make a generous donation to L.I.M. in your name, thus ensuring that Praxis software linked to your particular neuroenhancements would always be available to you and you alone. Please, take a look. Very well. Perhaps when you are feeling stronger.
Dr. LeBlanc, code blue.
Protesting is not against the law.
I know that.
Adam? Yeah, I just spoke to Vera Markovic. You aren't getting any Praxis kits installed?
All you said to do was see the doctor. I did that.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm just surprised you didn't take advantage of the account I set up for you. But no matter. Right now I want to know who that corpse is. Head over to the police station and get his neural hub. And Adam, if you can't talk your way in, consider making a strategic retreat. There's gotta be another entrance on the side of the building.
Hello there. Well, you must be Adam Jensen.
A keen observation.
Mrs. Reed told me you might pay me a visit. And don't take this the wrong way, but you're kind of hard to miss.
I'll try to take that as a compliment. She told me you might have information regarding Megan Reed's case and the attack on Seraph headquarters.
Oh boy, what a mess. Total pissing match. We had the feds on our ass, orders from 3 different departments, and pressure from so many lobbyists it felt like being the scrawny new kid in the prison shower.
It is a very high-profile case. Mrs. Reed said you thought some procedures were overlooked.
You got that right. I mean, you know how it is. Mrs. Reed told me you used to be a cop. There's always cases where you see the lazy officers taking shortcuts. But this was different.
Different how?
Too much stuff got overlooked. People seemed way too eager to jump to conclusions, and every time I was remotely insistent, I got turned down by ranking officers. People wanted to bury this thing fast. That's never a good sign.
Surely you have something more substantial than this.
Yeah, well, that's where you come in. I got a couple of leads I could never fully investigate. I started poking around, but these government-type agents just gave me the creeps. I got scared. Months away from retirement, I didn't want to fuck things up. But you obviously have the means to get to the bottom of this.
So what have you got?
First off, there's a rumor that the order to close the investigation came from higher up, maybe even outside the local department. Anything like that would have passed through Captain Penn. There might be traces of this left on his office computer.
Guess I'll have to pay a visit to the local precinct.
Well, while you're there, there was an officer assigned to the case, Chet Wagner. He's not what you call a choir boy. And when he suddenly got brought on the case, I got suspicious. Somebody wanted him there. And I'm pretty sure he tampered with some of the evidence. You should talk to him. Find out what he knows.
Okay, I'll have a little chat with Officer Wagner.
You'll most likely find him in the lobby. He got retrograded from his conduct, and he takes depositions now. He won't budge easily, but I'm pretty sure you can find some dirt on him on his desktop. His office is on the 3rd floor. You might find something there to help loosen up his tongue.
Anything else worth looking into?
Yeah, when the order came down to close the case, the bulk of the evidence was stashed in a storage locker. Maybe you can find some interesting stuff in there. It's on the alley right next to the station. The code is 4891. But I know an outside agency had access to that locker, so be careful.
Thanks for the heads up.
It's nothing. And, please, don't bother coming back here with details. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to help. But the less I know about this case, the better I'll feel.
That's all I need for now.
Hey, Jensen. Long time no see. You're not here to see Wayne Haas, are you? He's a desk sergeant on duty right now.
Access granted.
Springing up everywhere across the country and not even telling the parents. But what are these drills for? Well, they're to introduce them to the future. REX 84 is the future. The ADEX list is the future.
Access granted. Access granted.
Back again to Detroit, where a handful of people were taken into custody this evening following yet another anti-augmentation demonstration. This time, patients attempting to access the 2nd Avenue Limb Clinic found their route blocked by supporters of the Humanity Front movement. The pro-human organization had received permission to gather and protest earlier in the week, but police decided to shut down the legal rally prematurely and closed the Broadview Tunnel.
Assure him that these attacks are in no way linked to the Humanity Front.
But don't get your panties in a bunch if you get hung up on. If we detect even the slightest suspicious fluctuation in signal, we have to shut you down. The World Order and their team of expert hackers could be trying to track us. That's why we have to create a covert order. Jensen, I have a message for you from one of your former colleagues, a Detective Alexander.
Jenny, what did she want?
She said she could use some help if you can make your way over to Grand River Road. And might I just add, as wonderful as it is to have you back at the office, I am not your personal dating service.
Come to gloat, Hanser? Enjoy it while you can. I won't be here long.
That's pretty optimistic talk from a guy facing terrorism charges.
Ain't gonna be any charges. You think your boss is the only powerful man in this city? The way I figure it, DA's getting a phone call right about now.
Yeah? Well, I know the DA. He can't be bought.
Ain't about money, Cholo. You and your company, you're fucking with nature, trying to control human evolution. But you got no clue what the real cost of your tinkering will be. Thank God a lot of other men do. Powerful men. Powerful enough to pick up a phone and get me free. Just watch.
Are we talking about your brother?
You stay away from him, Hanser. You even think about going after him. Oh, fuck it, man. You don't know nothing about my brother and me.
Access granted.
About time. You the home sec guy I was ordered to wait for? Tell Manderley I didn't get the memo until I was halfway through the autopsy. By then, it was too late to close him up again.
Right. So you recovered the neural hub?
Tricky bit of work that was. A few inches lower and the bullet would have fried more than just the pedal connectors. As it is, I can't guarantee you'll get anything useful out of it, other than the fact that it's been modified.
Modified? With what?
Some kind of wet drive. But hey, I didn't look. Ultraviolet means ultraviolet, and I know how touchy you guys get when it comes to matters of national security. He's all yours. The hub's been detached, but I left it in the skull as ordered. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got paperwork to fix.
Boss, I got the neural hub. Looks like it's been modified with some kind of wet drive. Pritchard should have a look at it.
No, don't bring it here. Frank's not finished running his diagnostic, and I don't want to risk connecting any tech to our networks till he's done.
Especially if the tech is military. So what do you want me to do?
Take the hub to your apartment. I'll have Frank contact you there.
Again to Detroit, where a handful of people were taken into custody.
Yeah? What do you want?
Information.
Then go bother the receptionist, Chrome Boy, instead of wasting my goddamn time.
Not that kind of information. I want to know about the Seraph Industries case.
Ha ha! And I want a blowjob and a vintage 05 Bard GT, so I guess we both keep on dreaming. Huh, metalhead?
I know you handled critical evidence linked to the case, and I want to know about it.
First off, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And second, even if I did, what makes you think I give a shit about what you want? Now, I strongly suggest you take your high-tech, toaster-looking ass out of my way before I handle you.
Strong words. You're a real poet. Tell me, is that how you plan to handle the judge when they prosecute you for perjury, possession, and intent to distribute?
What the hell are you babbling about, Chrome Boy?
Funny story. There's this guy, Blaine Lopez. Deals dope near City Airport. A real scumbag. You know him? Because I have a nice little chat record between him and you. So you want to go to jail? Or you want to tell me what I want to know?
How the hell do you... Shit, man. Now listen, I just did what was asked of me. I didn't have a choice.
Talk.
Okay, look. I just came in one morning and there was an email with my new assignment in it. Official business. But there were also specific instructions. I had to check out the lab for footage from an Intellicam. They told me to take it and leave it near a garbage can somewhere near the lake.
What was on it?
Well, it's not crystal clear, but mainly it shows the boys who attacked Seraph as they were breaching the labs. And it looked like they were bringing something in with them. Impossible to tell what.
Who asked you to do this?
You think I know? Orders are orders around here. They always come from above. And nobody asks questions. You just do what they say, and you hope you don't end up like Secretary Haas over there.
All the
Have you found anything? Please, I've got to know what really happened to Megan.
I've investigated all of Detective Chase's leads. You were right. Something was off with Megan's case.
So, what did you find?
There were only 3 people who got out of the labs alive. Me and 2 others. One died in the hospital a few days later. The second one, a lab tech, was ready to give a detailed description of what he saw. Funny thing is, by the time the investigators got to him, he couldn't remember a thing.
You sound like you don't believe that.
I don't. Not from the reports I've read. I think someone got to him first. Someone in the government, a man named Manderley, ordered that a specially appointed medical examiner perform the autopsy. He bypassed the local M.E. Simply put, that's not a good sign.
It sure doesn't sound good.
An officer assigned to the case was asked to get rid of a major piece of evidence. Footage from one of our intellicams showed fuzzy images of the attackers bringing something inside the labs.
What? What were they bringing in?
I don't know. But for someone higher up to want that evidence gone, it must have been important. I got my hand on a test report that confirms what was bothering Chase. The attackers used excessive measures to make bodies and equipment unidentifiable.
Oh my God, Megan. What do you make of this, Adam?
I don't know exactly. I guess the idea was to leave no traces, no DNA evidence that would link back to them. But it just seems a bit too convenient.
So what you're telling me is we couldn't find anything conclusive?
No, I'm sorry. But one thing's for sure. Somebody's been hard at work covering up and destroying evidence related to this case. Somebody with power, who wanted to erase anything that might have made the investigation linger. I'm sorry, Cassandra. I wish I had more tangible answers to give you. But I did stumble on something I think you should have. I found Megan's bracelet. I'm sure she'd want you to have it.
Oh, Adam, that's very kind of you. Her grandmother gave it to her. She loved that bracelet very much. Thank you for all you did. And, do you know exactly how Megan died?
I read the reports. She didn't suffer, Cassandra. I can promise you that.
Thank you, Adam. It's not much, but it still brings me some comfort. I miss her so much.
Don't worry, Cassandra. This is not over. I don't know how or when, but I will get to the bottom of this.
I knew I was right to trust you, Adam. But please, be careful. It's strange. I thought knowing what really happened would make me feel better. But nothing will ever justify this. My daughter is gone, and I'll never get her back. I wish I could be sure she gets justice.
Trust me, she will.
So far, Mr. Darrow has refused our repeated requests for an interview.
Before you ask,
This is
no.
Eliza
Your
Cassandra,
mirror has
reporting
not
to
been
you
replaced,
live.
Mr. Jensen.
Where are you, Jensen? I haven't got all night.
Hello, Pritchard. I'm almost in my apartment now.
Well, when you do get in there, connect the neural hub to your computer. I've created a secure tunnel, and I'll take over remotely.
You can access my personal computer.
Who do you think configured your security protocols?
Mr. Jensen, I fixed up your apartment real nice. That special request you asked for works like a charm.
Welcome home, Mr. Jensen.
Pritchard, the hub's connected.
I know. Now be quiet and let me concentrate.
I need his name, Pritchard, not his entire genetic history.
That's not his DNA. It's the data he was trying to steal from us before he... My God, Jensen. Your suicide hacker didn't kill himself.
You obviously didn't see his brain splattered all over the floor.
No, you don't understand. The wet drive modification in this chip, it allows someone to hack through you. It turns you quite literally into a human proxy.
So he wasn't working alone. Someone off-site was doing the actual hacking.
Exactly. And whoever it was tried to hide his location by using multiple satellites. But I may have just traced him to here, an abandoned factory complex in Highland Park.
Get me the address, Pritchard. Because if we're lucky, whoever pulled our terrorist strings might still be there.
Adam, it's David.
Let me guess. You're sending me to Highland Park.
Not just yet. Frank's figured out why the network's been compromised. There's a persistent transmission coming from Derelict Row.
Street gang territory?
Well, our dead friend was posing as an anti-aug. Who better to hide with than the D-Row ballers?
Right. I'm on my way.
Re-establishing security system. See you soon, Mr.
No come no closer, Slick. Back off. It's too late to run. Run home to mama, asshole!
Jensen!
How can I help you, Francis?
You know why I'm contacting you.
The transmission that's making a mockery of your security efforts?
It's keeping a back door open into our network. None of us are secure unless you find the antenna that's sending it and shut it down.
For you, anything.
See? Didn't I tell you it was a stupid idea to let those Purity First assholes set up camp on our turf?
Yeah, but it wasn't our decision, so too bad. Besides, they paid rent like everybody else, so what's the big deal?
Come on. These fucks have been coming in here promising all sorts of glory and bullshit if we join them. And all they're doing is getting us killed.
You're just jealous because they never took you.
After the way they fucked up their op in Milwaukee Junction, they should have just blown up that building sky high with every fucking robo-hogger inside it. Sanders is all talk.
Then why'd you bring him up?
real talk. If you think augments ain't that bad, then why don't you just become a skinner yourself?
I'm just saying, think about it. We totally outarmed the bangers. We got more territory now. The only thing they got over us is that some of them got augmentations.
Where did they get the money to buy them?
I don't care, man. That shit is against God's word and all that.
Nah, man, you can't never leave this area. This door gotta be guarded 24/7, you hear me?
I hear you, man. That rocket launcher is sweet.
Just my little surprise for the MCBs. And ain't nobody gonna jack it. You got me?
I got you. No jacking off with a rocket launcher.
Don't get smart. Just check inside once in a while in case someone tries to get in through the vent. You feel me?
I feel you. No air vent, no elevator shaft neither.
Man, I thought we had cable. How comes I ain't getting nothing but Piker's news?
That's all we do get, ever since that Purity dude went up on the roof and hacked the antenna.
Sanders' friend? You let him up near the helipad?
He said he'd get us porn.
And you believed it? Fucking idiot.
I'm telling you, something big is going on in Highland Park. Now, Stewie didn't say much, but when he got close to the warehouse, there were already people in there.
Was it the bangers? I heard they've been expanding up there.
No, from what he described.
Access granted.
Boss, is that back door still open?
No, good job. Frank just sent me the all clear. Now it's time to find the bastards who attacked us. Farida, you standing by?
On the line, boss. Jensen, you reading me?
Loud and clear.
Stay close to the antenna. Pritchard sent me the coordinates for it. I'm coming to pick you up. Mr. Jensen, your limo has arrived. You ready to leave?
Yeah, let's go.
Great. Detroit local. This is Seraph Industries Bravo Echo Echo 008. Continuing on.